Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you come in the door. You're the new hotshot lead singer. But
Yeah.
the general public is not overly familiar with who you are. They didn't bring you in from a different, from the Rolling
Right.
Stones or something. Okay, so you come in
Right.
the door
Exactly.
as the new hotshot lead singer, and you guys immediately have this big rock song with Jane, which you just talked about. How Jane was one of the first songs you gave a shot at. It ends up being a pretty big rock radio song. And,
Yeah, it was.
and then it still is. And then one would assume that the band comes out of that album feeling confident in the decision to bring in Mickey Thomas, and everything's going to be smooth sailing from there. But what do? They go and immediately bring Grace Slick back as your co-lead singer. Now, how did you feel about Grace being brought back in at that point?
Oh, I thought it was great. I actually did 2 albums with the band, with Jefferson Starship, before Grace came out. She sort of came back at the tail end of the the second album, Modern Times.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually did a duet on Modern Times, a song called Stranger.
Which is a great song, another great rock radio song. Yeah, great bass line.
So basically, she just started hanging around the studio while we were making that album. And she's made a comment, something to the extent of, wow, it looks like you guys are really having fun. This is so different than it was. When I left the band, everything was just like crashing and burning, and everybody was fighting, and everybody had their own personal problems they were going through, and so it was kind of a bad soap opera. And she said, "You guys now are having fun. This is a whole different trip." And of course, she had resolved a lot of her issues too. At that point in time, I'd gotten clean and sober, and she said something to the effect of, "Do you guys need a female background singer?"
Right.
We said,